All right. Hello, ACCA UK taxation students. I welcome you to this video wherein we are going to discuss about the changes in the tax rates and allowances for ACCA UK taxation paper from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25. This video is relevant for two types of students. Number one, who studied and prepared paper according to Finance Act 24, but due to any reason they couldn't attempt this paper, and now they are wishing to attempt this paper from June 26 onwards. And number two type of students, second type is this video is relevant for those students who attempted TX paper but unable to pass the paper, and they studied and attempted by having the things according to Finance Act 24, and now they are wishing to retake this paper. And by the way, if you are studying and taking TX paper for the first time, this video is irrelevant for you. You can skip. There are some tax tables which are normally given in exam, and you can open up those tax tables during your exam time. So basically the tax rates and allowances are available, and you can open up these tax tables during your exam time. So in this video, we shall be comparing the changes made from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25 with respect to the income taxes, corporation taxes, value-added taxes, inheritance taxes, and all that. I'm starting from income taxes. As we know, for the income taxes, there are certain income limits and the tax rates are applicable based on those income limits. There is no change at all. The things which you can see in the heading of Finance Act 24, all these are still there under Finance Act 25. There is no change in the tax rates, the limits, and the normal rates and the dividend rates. Moving forward, with respect to the dividend income exemption and the interest income exemption and saving income 0% rule, there is no change at all. All of these things are same in the Finance Act 25. Another change, another heading with respect to income taxes, if we talk about personal allowance, the standard amount of personal allowance, the transferable amount, income limit, adjusted income, all of these things are same. There is no change at all. Furthermore, with respect to residency for deciding auto non-resident, auto resident, or the ties test, there is no change from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25. Moving forward, in the income taxes, we do talk about the child benefit income tax charge. There is no change. There is a concept of individual saving accounts. There is no change. All of these things are same from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25. In employment income, we do talk about the car benefit, the fuel benefit. Yes, here is a change for employment income purposes. All of the percentages in Finance Act 24, whatsoever are the percentages, 1% is added. So that's a change for Finance Act 25. You can see 15% adding 1%, it's now being treated as 16%, and thereafter 55 gram per kilometer, it was 16%, now it's 17%. With respect to the electric cars, previously it was 2%, but now it's 3%. And with respect to electric range, any percentage that is to be increased by 1%. So there's a first change which is in front of us with respect to the income taxes, and this change is applicable to the employment income car benefit percentages. Moving forward, if we talk about fuel benefit, yes, this scale charge amount has increased. Thereafter, van benefit, yes, both of these amounts have been increased. And for zero emission van, there is no change. So till now, we can say that in income taxes, we got change in the car benefit percentage, which is added 1%, and there is a change in the fuel benefit scale charge amount and the company van benefits amount. Moving forward, if we talk about the property income, there is a concept of rent or room relief. There is no change. The limit is 7,500, which is still same. For pension scheme limits, yes, there is change in the dates. For example, when we were talking about Finance Act 24, previous 3 years were standing in the fiscal year 24-25. Previous 3 years were 21-22, 22-23 and 23-24. But now, as we are now standing in the fiscal year 25-26, Finance Act 25 means fiscal year 25-26. Previous 3 fiscal years will be 24-25, 23-24 and 22-23. Now for these 3 years, one amount is, for this year the amount is 40,000, and for these 2 years amount is 60,000, and current year annual allowance limit is also 60,000. So in fact, there is no change in the amount, but according to the concept, if we are standing in fiscal year 25-26, we have to look back 3 years. So for previous 3 years, for 2 years the amount will be 60,000, and for third year the amount will be 40,000. Thereafter, if we talk about the minimum allowance and the income limit, that's same. Minimum allowance is 10,000 and income limit is 260,000. And for maximum pension contribution, the amount is £3,600. There is no change in this amount. And thereafter, if we talk about the approved mileage allowances, there is no change at all. Capital allowances, main pool rate, special rate pool, there is no change. And with respect to the capital allowances for cars, there is no change for the capital allowance calculation for cars. Capital allowance, rate of allowance is 100%. Annual investment allowance limit is 100%. Expenditure limit is 1 million. There is no change. If we talk about companies' capital allowances and the concept of the enhanced capital allowances, there is no change at all. Commercial structure and building allowance percentage, previously it was 3%, and in Finance Act 25 there is no change. It is still being considered as 3%. And for income tax purposes, if we talk about residency status, for deciding the residency status, a table is normally given in your tax tables. So the same table which was there in Finance Act 24, the same table can be used, and there is no change for residency status. Till now, we can conclude that if we sum up the income tax changes, so for income tax changes, there is a change in the card benefit calculation purposes. There is a change in the card benefit percentage, fuel benefit scale charge amount, and the van benefit amounts. Thereafter, for pension scheme limits, standing at in fiscal year 25-26, if we look back 3 years, so for previous 2 years the amount will be 60,000, and for third year the amount will be 40,000. In fact, there is no change, just the change in the years. And thereafter, now let's talk about the corporation tax. I can say that for corporation tax purposes, normally we are given with previous 3 years information. When we were talking about the Finance Act 24, then including Finance Act 24, previous 2 years were 22 and 2023. And now as we are talking about Finance Act 25, so with this year, previous 2 years are 2023 and 2024. Instead of this change in heading, there is no change in the tax rates and allowances for corporation tax purposes, right? So you can see the things which were there in the Finance Act 24, the same things are still to be applicable for the Finance Act 25. For corporation tax purposes, there is a concept of marginal relief. There is no change. There is a concept of quarterly installment. There is no change. For value-added tax purposes, registration limit, deregistration limit, VAT standard percentage, there is no change in all these things. But if we talk about the penalties for VAT late payments, yes, there is a change. Previously, if the late is in between 60 to 30 days, the penalty percentage was 2%, but now this percentage has increased to 3%. Thereafter, if the late is more than 30 days, previously it was the 4% plus a daily penalty at an annual rate of 4%. Now it has changed to 6% plus a daily penalty at an annual rate of 10%. So except of this one change, we can say that there is no change in the value added tax. If we talk about inheritance taxes, there is no change for the tax rates and allowances and the taper relief. So there is no change at all in the inheritance taxes. Thereafter, capital gains taxes. Previously in Finance Act 24, for normal rates were 10 and 20, and for residential property disposal, the capital gain tax rate was 18% and 24%. In Finance Act 25, these rates are now same. If there are normal asset disposal, 18 and 24%, and for residential property, we can say that for capital gain tax purposes, now there are not different tax rates. Same tax rates are applicable on each and every type of asset disposal. With respect to the business asset disposal relief and the investor relief annual limit is changed from 10 million to 1 million. Previously it was 10 million. Now the investor relief percentage is changed to 1 million. And for both these, the previous tax rate was 10%, but now for BADR and the gains qualified under investor relief, the relevant percentage has increased to 14% from 10%. So yes, there is a change. There are two changes there are basically three type of changes for capital gain tax purposes. Rate of CGD is changed, investor relief limit is changed, and for BADR and investor relief, the rate of tax is changed. Moving forward, if we talk about national insurance contribution, class 1 employer NIC is unchanged. Class 1 employer NIC, the limit and the rate and the employment allowance, yes, these are the changes from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25 for class 1 employer NIC. For class 1A NIC, 13.8% is increased to 15%, and for class 4 NIC, there is no change at all. And with respect to the rate of interest, these are changed. Previously, official rate of interest was 2.25%. It increased to 3.75%. Rate of interest on underpaid tax was 7.75%. It was increased to 8.50%. And rate of interest on overpaid tax, previously it was 4.25%, but now it has been decreased to 3.50%. So we can say that yes, there are changes in the rates of interest for TX purposes from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25. For standard penalties for errors, there is no change at all. That was the last slide. And as we have quickly discussed about all these changes made from Finance Act 24 to Finance Act 25, let's sum up. Let's summarize it. The major change, any Finance Act is normally applicable to 4 exam sessions, as Finance Act 24 was applicable to 4 exam sessions, which were June 25, September 25, December 25, and March 26. But Finance Act 25 is applicable to 5 exam sessions starting from June 26 and ending on June 27. So that's a major change according to the examinability, right? According to the applicability of Finance Act. Finance Act 25 is applicable to 5 exam sessions. So any one of you, if taking TX exam from June 26 to June 27, have to study, have to prepare TX paper according to Finance Act 25. Thereafter, there are no major changes in the course, in the tax rates and allowances. There are changes in the employment income for car benefit percentage, for fuel benefit percentage, for van benefit percentage, for van benefit amount. And thereafter, change in the personal pension years. Thereafter, there is a change in the value added tax, the penalty thing. No change in IST. Yes, there are changes in capital gain taxes, rate of tax, and thereafter the investor relief limit, and thereafter the rate of tax for BADR gains and investor relief gains that increased from 10% to 14%. And furthermore, yes, there are changes in the class 1 employer NIC and class 1A NIC. And yes, there are changes in the rate of interest. So these are the basic changes. Now you can plan whether you should follow your previous lecture, previous notes, and by keeping these changes in front of you, you can still prepare for your paper. And in case if you are wishing to enroll in new course according to Finance Act 25, so that's your discretion, that's your choice. I have explained all these changes one by one according to the tax rates and allowances, which are also available in the form of tax table during your exam time. See you in the next video. Take care.